Blake Lively has officially had her deposition, and she had to do it in front of Justin Baldoni.
Have absolutely no love for each other, and they are sitting in a small room together, and it's the first time that they've been face-to-face since 2024.
When it comes to these types of cases where there are emotional distress damages, the defense can probe into many areas of Blake Lively's life.
The Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni legal saga has reached a critical juncture that fundamentally alters the trajectory of this high-profile Hollywood dispute. Multiple entertainment industry sources, including TMZ and People magazine, have confirmed that Lively has completed her court-ordered deposition, a development that carries far more significance than initial media reports suggest.
Just imagine the tension in that room must be off the charts.
Baldoni has the right to sit through any depositions in this case, including Blake Lively's. There's a little bit of strategy to having the defendant at the deposition. When that person is actually sitting in the room, it becomes much harder to twist the truth or to fabricate because you're eye to eye with the person that you're speaking about.
This deposition represents the first time Lively has been compelled to answer detailed questions under oath regarding her allegations against Baldoni. The proceeding took place over 7 intensive hours, with Baldoni himself present throughout the questioning. Legal experts consider this face-to-face confrontation a pivotal moment that could determine whether the case proceeds to trial or reaches an out-of-court resolution. The timing of this deposition is particularly noteworthy. After months of legal maneuvering and apparent attempts to delay the proceeding, Lively's decision to move forward suggests a strategic shift in her legal approach.
Surprised because she already won a protective order that made them have to tell her no, she would be notified in advance who would be present. So why is this a surprise? Literally, your own article mentions that it's not a surprise, but
industry observers who previously anticipated a settlement now believe the case is more likely to proceed to its scheduled March trial date. The presence of Baldoni during the deposition adds a psychological dimension.
They assume that they all have working relationships with Friedman and produce content criticizing him over the feud. So because Candace, Megan, and Perez seemingly have relationships, I don't even think Candace doesn't have a relationship with him.
While defendants have the legal right to attend depositions in their cases, the decision to exercise this right often serves strategic purposes.
What did she say about her reputation?
I think this is the most interesting part of this. So she admits this has harmed her reputation, and it's harmed her career, frankly. I think it's a fair question to ask.
Baldoni's attendance likely served multiple functions, allowing his legal team to assess Lively's testimony in real time, providing immediate consultation opportunities, and potentially applying psychological pressure through direct confrontation.
What in the world are they doing? They just filed a second amended complaint. They have added Jed Wallace back into the lawsuit. Is her legal team just trying to get every dollar they can out of her? Just when you think the court of opinion couldn't be any less favorable towards her.
To understand the significance of this development, it is essential to examine the deposition process and its role in civil litigation. A deposition represents one of the most powerful discovery tools available in the American legal system.
They go and do this. And you can't even read what else is in there because it's entirely redacted. There are now 107 subpoenas for content creators. Way to get the court of public opinion way against you. Everything they're doing is textbook how to make a public figure be unliked.
Unlike media interviews or public statements, depositions place witnesses under oath with the same legal obligations as courtroom testimony. During a deposition, opposing counsel has broad latitude to explore relevant topics, compel detailed responses, and pursue lines of questioning that might reveal inconsistencies or weaknesses
with her husband, with her friends, business relationships, her medical treatment, or anything else relating to her mental state. That is all fair game.
The witness's account. The witness cannot simply refuse to answer questions or provide evasive responses without potential legal consequences. The 7-hour duration of Lively's deposition indicates the comprehensive nature of the questioning.
what does her career look like after this? She was somebody who was beloved. I think it's harmed her. I think it's harmed her husband, Ryan Reynolds, as well. And I think the same goes for Justin Baldoni. You may ultimately get a winner or loser in court declared at some point here, but I don't think either of them walk away a winner from this case.
Experienced litigation attorneys note that depositions of this length typically involve several distinct phases. The initial phase often focuses on establishing basic facts and timeline elements. The middle phase usually involves detailed exploration of specific incidents and allegations. The final phase frequently attempts to identify contradictions, test the witness's memory, and explore potential motivations or biases. Brian Friedman, Baldoni's attorney, is known for his aggressive litigation style and thorough preparation. Legal observers familiar with Friedman's approach expect that he utilized various techniques to test Lively's composure and consistency. These might include rapid-fire questioning designed to prevent coached responses, presentation of documentary evidence that contradicts verbal testimony, and strategic use of breaks to allow consultation with his client. The psychological dynamics of having Baldoni present during this questioning cannot be overlooked. For Lively, making serious allegations while facing the subject of those allegations creates a unique form of pressure. The inability to avoid eye contact or retreat from direct confrontation may have influenced both the content and delivery of her responses. Legal experts note that witnesses often struggle with the transition from public narrative control to the constrained environment of sworn testimony. Public statements and media interviews allow for selective disclosure and favorable framing. Depositions eliminate these advantages, requiring witnesses to address challenging questions without the ability to deflect or redirect the conversation. Parallel to the deposition proceedings, a significant legal battle has emerged regarding Lively's decision to subpoena over 100 content creators and media personalities. This unprecedented mass subpoena strategy raises fundamental questions about the boundaries of legal discovery and the protection of First Amendment rights in the digital age. Lively's legal theory suggests that Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, orchestrated a coordinated campaign using content creators to damage her reputation. This allegation faces several substantial evidentiary and logical challenges that warrant detailed examination. First, the economic model underlying content creation contradicts the coordination theory. Most digital content creators generate revenue through engagement metrics, advertising partnerships, and audience growth rather than direct payments from subjects of their coverage. The suggestion that established legal professionals would risk their careers and licenses to coordinate with online commentators demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of how modern media economics operate. Second, the documentary evidence available in the case actually contradicts the coordination theory. Text exchanges previously disclosed in court filings reveal that Baldoni's crisis management team expressed negative opinions about certain content creators, including descriptions of some as irrelevant and questioning their credibility. These internal communications suggest distance rather than coordination between Baldoni's team and content creators. During recent court proceedings, Friedman's legal team categorically denied the existence of any paid agreements with content creators. This denial prompted the presiding judge to raise a significant procedural question. If no such agreements exist, why would a formal court ruling be necessary to quash subpoenas seeking information about non-existent contracts? The judge's questioning reveals a deeper issue with Lively's discovery strategy. By casting such a wide net and making broad allegations without specific evidence, her legal team may have undermined their credibility with the court. Legal practitioners note that judges become skeptical when discovery requests appear designed more for harassment than legitimate fact-finding. The scope of these subpoenas has drawn criticism from First Amendment advocates and legal scholars. The requests seek detailed information about content creators' editorial decisions, source communications, and business relationships. Such broad discovery demands could establish a precedent allowing public figures to weaponize the legal system against critics and commentators. Several prominent content creators and media outlets have moved to quash their subpoenas, arguing that compliance would violate journalistic independence and shill legitimate commentary. The judge has already expressed concern about what he characterized as tremendously broad discovery requests that are quite chilling in their scope. This controversy highlights the evolving relationship between traditional legal frameworks and digital media landscapes. The entertainment industry's legal establishment appears to struggle with understanding how independent content creators operate, leading to misguided attempts to apply traditional media relationship models to modern digital commentary. A detailed examination of court filings reveals concerning patterns in Lively's legal strategy that could significantly impact her case's credibility and ultimate success. These issues extend beyond tactical disagreements to potentially serious misrepresentations to the court. Court documents filed by Lively's legal team contain specific quotes attributed to Brian Friedman that appear to be fabricated or substantially mischaracterized. The filings claim Friedman described Lively using specific derogatory terms in public statements. However, comprehensive review of Friedman's recorded interviews with major media outlets, including TMZ, Entertainment Tonight, and other prominent platforms, reveals no evidence of these alleged statements. This pattern of misattribution creates several serious problems for Lively's case. First, it raises questions about the thoroughness and accuracy of her legal team's preparation. Second, it potentially constitutes misrepresentation to the court, which could result in sanctions or other adverse consequences. Third, it undermines the credibility of other allegations that may be more difficult to verify independently. Legal ethics experts note that attorneys have strict obligations to ensure the accuracy of factual representations made to courts. The inclusion of apparently fabricated quotes in official court filings suggests either inadequate fact-checking procedures or intentional misrepresentation, both of which carry serious professional consequences. The amended complaint filed by Lively's team presents additional strategic challenges. The document contains extensive redactions that obscure the substance of new allegations, making it virtually impossible for opposing counsel, the court, or the public to assess the merit of the claims. Such heavy redaction in publicly filed documents raises questions about whether the underlying allegations can withstand scrutiny. The attempt to reintroduce previously dismissed defendants through jurisdictional arguments based on social media posts represents another questionable strategic decision. Lively's team argues that because a Texas-based crisis management consultant posted content while physically present in New York courts should have jurisdiction over claims against that individual. This jurisdictional theory faces significant legal obstacles. Established precedent requires more substantial connections to a forum state than temporary physical presence or social media activity. The argument that posting photographs while visiting New York creates sufficient jurisdictional basis could effectively eliminate meaningful limits on forum shopping in cases involving public figures who travel frequently. Legal scholars note that accepting such arguments would fundamentally alter jurisdictional analysis in ways that could burden court systems and create inconsistent legal standards across different states. The weakness of this jurisdictional argument may explain why the previous attempt to include this defendant was unsuccessful. The Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni case carries implications that extend far beyond the immediate parties involved, potentially reshaping how the entertainment industry handles crisis management, public relations, and legal strategy in high-profile disputes. The entertainment industry is closely monitoring how courts handle the intersection of legitimate legal representation and allegations of coordinated harassment campaigns. The theory advanced by Lively's team suggests that vigorous legal defense and strategic media engagement constitute improper conduct. If accepted, this approach could fundamentally alter how attorneys advise clients in high-profile cases. The mass subpoenaing of content creators raises profound First Amendment concerns that extend beyond this individual case. The entertainment industry has historically benefited from robust commentary and criticism, which serves important public interest functions, including accountability for powerful figures and institutions. If Lively's discovery strategy succeeds, it could establish a precedent allowing wealthy public figures to use the legal system's discovery processes to intimidate and silence critics. The financial burden of responding to subpoenas, even when ultimately unsuccessful, could effectively chill commentary from independent creators who lack the resources to mount extensive legal challenges. The case also highlights the evolving relationship between traditional media and digital content creators. The legal system's apparent struggle to understand modern media economics and the independence of online commentators suggests a need for judicial education about digital media landscapes and their role in contemporary public discourse. Furthermore, the proceedings demonstrate how public relations strategies can sometimes conflict with sound legal strategy. The extensive media coverage and apparent leaking of information from both sides suggests that this case is being fought as much in the court of public opinion as in the legal system, potentially compromising the integrity of the judicial process. The implications for crisis management in the entertainment industry are particularly significant. The case may establish new boundaries around what constitutes legitimate reputation management versus improper conduct, affecting how publicists, attorneys, and crisis management professionals operate in future high-profile situations.